Let's consider, say, you are running a retail brand where you have five physical stores, one online store, and until the weekend, you are getting three different numbers on how much stock is actually left. So, if you run retail operations, you already know this problem where, say, the warehouse manager is saying one thing, your Shopify and showing you another number, and a store manager is texting you a completely different. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to solve this by building a real time sync between every sales channel and having it in one single source of truth or a single database. That too using nothing but n8n and Google Shoots. So you don't require any expensive ONS license. How we build this? When we go on to n8n, the very first thing that I'm going to show you is the way we have divided these three workflows. Now, the very first thing that we see over here is where we are doing a real-time sync. So whatever orders that you might be getting, say your e-commerce orders or your sales through your retail stores that say managed by a POS system. The very first thing that we're doing right here is we're taking that data. So as and when a new order gets triggered on any of these, this workflow gets initiated. So say consider that right now you have those Google Sheets, you can obviously integrate your Shopify account over here or your POS directly into this node. Then what we are doing is that whatever data that we are getting in or whatever data it's getting triggered and at a store level or at a e-commerce website level, we are normalizing that to bring it into one standard format. Now that format is again merged and we are doing a quick lookup with whatever the current stock is there. So as you can see over here, we then finally get to know what is the SKU location, which is that particular SKU, what's the product name, the location ID, be it an online or a store order, what in terms of say the store order console, what is the location of that space, what is the quantity on hand versus what is the order threshold that we on place. So all of these details we are able to fetch. Now once that is done, we directly have a code that we have written to calculate and the stock impact. So this tells us that okay, when do we need to order new quantity or when not. Now this becomes handy for the operations team to manage the inventory. And finally, all of those gets updated into the master. At the same time, same if there are any alerts that come in, right? That if there is no stock or if say for example there is a usage of stock, then or if there is zero stock, then that alert gets created and it gets sent. Now there we have again a format for creating that alert message and that gets stored in the alert log. In case if there is say no alert that is there, then we simply have the sync created where all the logs or all the updates are created. If you can really write here, you have the sync log that is there on a Google Sheet. And at the same time, if you talk about alert logs, this is how you're managing or we are capturing the alerts as well. So say once you have done this thing to have all of these things in place where you are mapping your order data all in one place and you are ensuring that okay, your inventory is being tracked based on that. The next thing that we would want to build is say a dashboard. Now this is a live dashboard that we are creating where we are getting the data from the master inventory. So say for example, your master inventory might look something like this, where you have the SKU location, the SKU, the product name, the store level or the online order data, and everything that is mentioned right here. So we are taking this as one input. Then what you're taking into consideration is also a alert log and the sync log, which then helps us in terms of building that entire KPI snapshot. So with all of these three data points in these, as you can see on the right hand side, the outputs that we would get would look like this, where we have the total online events or orders that we have received, the in-store orders that we are receiving, or if say there is low stock or out of stock items, we get to know that. So this is the sort of data that we are able to capture. And finally, the most important thing where a lot of e-commerce owners or retail brand owners face issues or operations team face issues in terms of reconciliation. So we have created this entire workflow where reconciliation happens on a nightly basis. It's where what happens is one again what we are doing is we are reading all the orders that come in through either the e-commerce channel or through POS cells, and we even compare with the master inventory that we have in place, where all the stock levels are reconciled. We write those entire reconciliation report in a Google Sheet, and finally a log discrepancy alert gets created. So at the end of this, we have a complete recon report that we're able to generate as well. Now, while we have all of these data points, these multiple sheets that are there, we are capturing all of these data. What we can eventually do is using this, we can create a complete dashboard like this, where we are mapping the online orders, the in-store sales, the total units that are getting. So every single parameter that is relevant for you to monitor those activities is something that you can capture right here. So if you see this is the support dashboard that gets created. Again, this is a live HTML dashboard that is connected to Google Sheet. So the way we designed this entire workflow, where we have divided it into three major tasks, I mean, three parts in which the entire problem of having a omni-channel radial sync, okay, that is getting solved right here. So if you found this useful, then please do like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any other use case in mind that is similar to this, where you would want to explore opportunities or explore how such LTM workflows or where GTM engineering plays a role in terms of refining certain processes, in terms of operations or in terms of sales operations, then please do put it up in a comment below. And thank you so much for watching this video.